Hey Soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at how your communication skills and communication style affects your relationships and your life in general. We'll be taking a look at, let's take this one, I guess, 1, 2. We'll be taking a look at the positives, the things that you are guided to improve, and in that case, what to do exactly. All right, so as you can see, we have 3 piles for today's reading. Very excited about this reading today. For pile number 1, you have the Knight of Cups. I feel called to taking this star and putting it right there. So we'll leave that here. For pile number 2, you have the 6 of Pentacles. And for pile number 3, you have the 6 of Swords. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you of course have the Sodalite in the shape of a star. For pile number 2, you have the Labradorite. Is it picking up on camera? I hope it is. And for pile number 3, you have the blue Goldstone in the shape of a heart. And this is what your crystal looks like. All right. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that will be the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or maybe all of the piles, then perhaps you'll find more messages expanding on your communication skills and the benefits that you get from it in dealing with other people and the benefits that you get in your life. And more importantly, you will be getting more guidance that you're meant to hear. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey Soul family, welcome to your shuffling and pile preparation process. It is so lovely to have you here as always as we prepare for your piles. My apologies, it's very hot today, so I had to put on the air conditioner. I'm just gonna keep it on for like 5 or 10 minutes and then I'll switch it off. Okay, so these are the decks that we will be using in today's reading. On the left are the Oracle decks and on the right are the Tarot decks. All right, and if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, do know that I always list them down for you down in the description box. I feel this one as well, so I'm gonna take it. Actually, I feel the 3. 1, 2, no, not this one. I feel this one. And 3. Okay. Moving on to the next deck. So how does your communication style affect your relationships and your life? How does your communication style affect your relationships and your life? 1, 2, 3. We'll be taking 2 tarot cards from each, no, I feel this one, from each deck. Next, is this the right way up? Is it? Yes, it is. All right, so how does your communication style affect your relationships and your life? Thanks. Okay. Next deck. Oh, these are 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Wonderful. All right. So our 3 piles for today's reading are now ready. Let's now put them neatly together for your reading, starting with pile number 1. So, all different sizes today. Different card sizes. Looks very unique today. Okay, so pile number 1. That is the Sodalite star. Pile number 2. Pile number 2 with the Labradorite and pile number 3. Pile number 3 is also now ready with the blue goldstone in the shape of a heart. So, my dear soul family, your 3 piles are now ready. Thank you so much for joining me as we prepare for your piles. Love you guys very much, and let's get straight into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Sodalite in the shape of a star, as well as the Knight of Cups. Very regal card. I'm already sensing a lot looking at your card, but I'm going to wait. We're going to take a look at the rest of your cards, starting off with your Oracle card. And as you know, today we're taking a look at how your communication style affects your relationships and your life. So let's see what you have. Interesting. You have Ingus. Oh, okay. I'm getting the sense already that a lot of you are initiators. Okay. Let's keep that there. Wonderful. You also have addict, and the light attribute is helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. The shadow attributes are comprises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Interesting. Okay, and you know what? I'm getting this duality in Ingus actually. Let's get more information. You have, wow, okay, Luna, the goddess Luna, interesting. Manifestations, visions, and attraction, wow. Okay. You also have, wow, talk about vision. Unbelievable. You must be a very psychic person, highly spiritual, very in touch with your intuition. Your intuition is capable of telling you a lot, speaking about communication styles, of what this person is that you're talking to, what they're gonna end up being like. Most of the time, you're right. You trust your intuition. There's a lot of wisdom when it comes, inert wisdom when it comes to dealing with others, at least with regards to you knowing if they're good people, if not, what type of action they may take. And you're always ahead most of the time because you already have a sense of the whole picture of what this person could be like. Okay, very strong power to have here, my dear pile number 1. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards. Picking up a lot so far. Okay, so you have the 10 of Cups. Wow, really, really cool card. Pile number 1, wow, you have the Queen of Wands. Very strong, amazing pile. We'll talk about you in a second. If I met you in real life, I would certainly be someone who can't wait to talk to you. I'd be definitely charmed by you for sure. You have the the 5 of Cups. Love that. You have the Queen of Swords. Pile number 1, very strong character. Very strong character. Way to go. You have the 3 of Wands. The Queen of Swords again, but here we see the Justice sitting in the Queen of Swords. Also talk about communication. In the 3 of Wands, I'm seeing again, you're initiator. You are an initiator. And you're able to build communities pretty easily. Right. You have the Ace of Swords. Okay. A lot of swords here. And last but not least, you have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so my dear pile number 1, let's take a look at your communication style first and then we'll take a look at how it affects your relationships and your life in general. So right off the bat, like I mentioned, you are definitely an initiator, quite a bold person. You come across as a charming, charismatic person who has a very strong character, and make no mistake, your aura gives you have a strong aura. You see all the reds and the oranges, you know. You have the root chakra, radiant blue throat chakra, orange and yellow. You have the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. Yeah. Your aura is very strong. It's sensed. The people that deal with you can instantly sense your aura. And you come across as someone who is ready, can hurt. I mean, here's the thing that I love about you. And perhaps that is the combination that is giving you the charisma. The Knight of Cups gives me regal energy. The Queen of Swords gives me a strong character, someone who doesn't have their emotions, pulling them back or standing against them. You appear to be someone who's bold and ready to speak up and maybe even hurt if you step their boundaries. But at the same time, you do it in a very classy way. You're not someone who comes across to other people as, I don't know, like vulgar. No, you come across as a very classy, regal, sophisticated person. People sense that you've picked up on a lot of the energy. You have this look of knowing to you. People sense right away that you've seen through them, that you know what they're about. You have that confidence in your eyes. Now, another thing about your communication with all of these swords, you speak with a lot of clarity with the Ace of Swords. You come across as someone who has a brilliant mind, obviously, someone who's well-spoken, but someone who's also very just. You don't use your power to manipulate. You are ready, in that case, with the justice figure. In the Queen of Swords, you're ready to easily change your opinions in case you see that the other person is making sense. We can pick that right away. People's bullying, people criticizing you, calling you off, does not affect you in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, with the Five of Cups, which is a card of disappointment, people's tactics to get to others and disappoint them just doesn't get to you. You're stable, you're solid in your place, and one of the strong reasons you appear that strong is that not only are you able to speak up for yourself, but you are also not affected by what other people do at all. You're not triggered. And also notice how this figure's hand is on the moon. This gives me the impression that you've already collected information from the very beginning, that you're not surprised by people's actions most of the time because you've already had a sense of how they were going to behave later on. So that part is on top of your mind, on top of mind. Okay, Ten of Cups, people love you. I see people gathered around you. At the very least, people love standing there watching you. You grab attention very well. And with the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like people are quite happy when you show up. It's like, oh, pile number one is here, even if they don't really show it, whether they show it or not. Ten of Pentacles shows that people, first of all, feel like you're lucky. You've got it all with the Ten of Pentacles. In fact, I see love here with a paper that's coming out, and it shows that they don't know what they're gonna get when they first meet you, but as they get to know you, they find that you're a loving person and that they're lucky to connect with you, right? So that's your character right off the bat. Let's now see how your character affects your relationship with others. When it comes to others, although you are quite popular or quite loved, you have a few people that you hold close and dear around you. And these people, you never let go of them. You are very passionate about them. And you are successful at building a strong bond with them. Your ability to communicate well with others gives the space of trust between you and other people, especially those who are close to you. They know that if you give them a word, you are going to keep it. And if you say you're going to do something, whether it's good or bad, you are going to be doing it. Like if you speak to me, I'm not going to be talking to you today, they know that you really mean it and you're not going to be talking to them. Or I'm not coming to that party. You set your boundaries really well and they know that you're going to stick to it. There's something here going on. You see, the Queen of Swords is a queen that does what's right and doesn't let their emotions affect them. But here, do you see the Queen of Swords? There is a tear behind the veil, my dear pile number 1, which shows me that you are a very private person and you don't always show necessarily how you feel at all. And so with Inguz here, the rune Inguz, it's a rune of great blessings to come, but it's also a time to be careful to keep these blessings so that until fruition. And such as the harvest, when it's time for the harvest and it's ready, you know, you want to be careful during that time because it's the most time where it's vulnerable. You know, the insects can eat it, the birds can eat it, some of it can go bad, and so on. It's a time, especially with organic planting in the past, when everything was organic, you lose most of the crops. In fact, I think there was a saying that I read a couple of years back. It was so interesting. I cannot remember it word for word, but it was like 1 for the crops, 1 for the birds, 1 for... I don't want to waste your reading time. But anyways, it's like the farmer gets 1/4 out of the whole thing at the end. And with babies, you know, there was no doctors. Of course, they knew how to give birth and everything. You know, it was still a vulnerable time. The baby could get ill, the mother could die. Anything could happen during that time. And so the rune Inguz shows us that it's a time of blessing, but it's also a time where either things are going to flourish or they might go. And this gives me an impression when it comes to your connections with others. You are an initiator, you're bold, you're strong, you are able to connect with others, and you create many connections. Some of them stay with you, and some of them die off very easily. But that's okay with you, because you obviously are very blessed in this area, my dear pal number 1. When it comes to creating connections, it's not really an issue. You're able to easily connect with others and get to know more people. And you build your connections with the 7 of Pentacles slowly but surely. You're not in a rush, you know. You initiate and you pick the best roses to keep. The ones that blossom and flourish. And you can see the roses here. These are the dear ones to you. But there is something here. So although it looks amazing, we were going to talk about the sad part here, and we also are going to talk about the addict here. This shows me, my dear pal number 1, that there is some with hidden sadness, because there is a mask here, or a mesh mask. And it shows me that even you may not, of course you're aware, there may have been past sadness or trauma. It could be due to teachers or past teachers, past parents, or past bullies, or something or the sort. It was love that was supposed to come from a safe source, but was more strict in nature. And so I sense in you a strong character with a strong facade. That's why you have on the inside is full of love. But with this love, there is also sadness, pile number 1. And because of this sadness, you can hurt very quickly sometimes, or you may perhaps forgive some people that mean a lot to you. So although every other person is like, you have these boundaries and they can't come near them, some people mean so much to you, and you may be sometimes pushing them away, or sometimes staying too close to them, like not wanting to let them go. Does that make sense, pile number one? There's the dynamics of pushing, but also not able to let go. And it comes from your dual character of having love and warmth, along with sadness, some sadness from the past, as well as your strong character that is capable of setting boundaries. So there's push-pull dynamic when it comes to certain types of people in your life. Look at that, the purple on the head. You were intuitive in the purple on the throat ever since you were a child. A strong part of your character is that strong intuition that is guided to all things spiritual. You're able to pick up on the signs, feel things. You feel things before they happen. Yeah, psychic person for sure. You are able to see in the heart of the matter, especially in the heart of people. And with the purple scarf around the throat chakra, you're giving me the impression that you speak liberally and freely about your beliefs and your psychic abilities, maybe, or your psychic thoughts. People are surprised with how much you're able to pick up and say, for sure. With the Sodalite star, you know, the Sodalite crystal has to do with the mind, and the mind comes here very strong. And I will tell you something here about the mind. The mind and the intuitive mind as well. The spiritual mind, I forgot what it's called, which is the crown chakra. My point is, you are seen as a star, as quite a unique person. First, because you come across as popular, desirable, people want to get to know you. You seem like an interesting character. You see the heads turning when you come. Yeah. Then when they hear you speak, you grab again a lot of attention because you speak with such wisdom and just everything is so balanced, intellectual, and on point. And it genuinely impresses people, especially when they haven't gotten to know you. People in general with the throat chakra here love listening to you speak. They can listen to you for hours, and I believe it is your smart mind. That's why I have the Sodalite. With your smart mind, as well as your strong intuition, it makes you say things that make you appear like an old soul, that are way ahead of your years. And it sounds very intellectual, and people just love listening to you. They definitely feel how special you are in that area. I will say, however, with the sadness that I'm seeing here, especially that it's in conjunction with the Seven of Pentacles, there is advice that although you have this strong, beautiful, charismatic personality, your communication skills is something to die for. It's something that people, like with the Ten of Pentacles here, dream of. You are amazing. But it's not yet the end. There's more to develop with the Seven of Pentacles. It is a beautiful road paved with you blossoming every step of the way, which gives me the impression that you're always growing yourself and improving yourself. But there's more work to do here with the Seven of Pentacles. And I do see that it has to do with some sadness of pain. That pain that may result in you hurting others without meaning. And if we're taking a glimpse, perhaps the past has to do with pain coming from the past that you may, without knowing, be passing on. Either by repeating the push or by being, I don't want to say attached, but holding on too tight when it's time to let go. And in order to let these dear connections to you fully blossom, like everything you are capable of achieving in your life, don't block your inner compass that is super strong and is there as your guiding light. But with all of the pain, sometimes it covers it, and your pain is much louder than your intuition. And so the way to listen to your intuition, in the cases where you feel like you are feeling very hurt letting someone go, or setting boundaries maybe with specific people in case you lose them, or anything like that, the Ace of Swords here shows to think about it cerebrally, without emotions and fear. Never tilt the balance to make it fit. The more you think about it honestly, without fear, the more the sound of your intuition is going to come strong, and you'll finally be able to hear it. And the only way to heal this is to rectify what happened in the past by standing there strong for yourself this time. Succumbing to pain may be the very reason you could be in a cycle that you feel is too scary to come out of. And so sticking to your guns, or to the word you give yourself, this is wrong, I know it's wrong, I'm not going to be speaking to this person, no matter how dear they are, if they do that, just like you do with everyone else. Because I deserve better than that. The more that this dynamic will heal, you will find your ground and your strength, because you already have it. You already are it. And because here it says it helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. You are a strong person. You're more than capable of doing that. It's standing up for yourself and sticking to your word the first time or two times until you watch yourself and go, hey, I did this. I'm good. I'm capable of doing that. You rewire the way you think about it in your mind, no longer allowing it to have an effect on you. And this way you bring your strength back to yourself. It's no longer going to feel like it's scary, it's impossible, it's wrong. You're going to find your strength, my dear pile number one. Because this is the one thing I see here that you are yet to develop. Other than that, you are a pile that is a dream pile to everyone who's going to be clicking on this pile. Someone who's bold, charismatic, charming. Everyone, turns around to watch them come in the room or talk. Amazing character with a strong personality. This is the one thing I see you being guided to heal, and you're more than capable of doing that. And of course, not to mention someone who has very strong psychic abilities, and that helps you in your communication with others as well as your whole life in general. You're able to sense what's coming ahead, what you should do, what you should be aware of, and what precautions to take. And my dear pile number one, this is exactly what I see for you in this reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. They are there to help you out. The productivity book teaches you how to become a productive person right away, all while enjoying the journey. This is a promise. I'm sure you're going to love this book. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook. And while you're there, you might want to check out the Productivity e-cookbook, which is a book that I partnered with a nutritionist to bring out to you 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. If you're vegan, there's a vegan version. If not, you can even get both books. There are no duplicates. And my dear pile number one, thank you so much for tuning in. Such an impressive person. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Labradorite. I hope it's picking up on camera. As well as the Six of Pentacles. Beautiful Six of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot of ideas, but I'm going to wait and see how this fits into your reading. And as you know, today we're taking a look at how your communication style affects your relationship with others and how it affects your life in general. So, you have Hille. Interesting. This is the goddess of the underworld in Norse mythology. Okay, we're starting to get a picture here. You also have, I knew it, mentor. So the light attributes are passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. The shadow attributes are inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instructions. Okay, actually I have a strong sense that you are the opposite of these shadow attributes. Just an intuitive feeling. You have thunder and lightning with painful realization, inner conflict. Okay. That with Hille says a lot. And you also have the orphan archetype. I see with the orphan archetype, now that the picture is becoming clear, there was a point in your life where you got greatly disappointed by the people around you. And with the orphan archetype, I get the understanding that you may have even cut everyone out at some point, making you feel alone and sad. It was a painful realization, but it helped you grow immensely because it pushed you to face your own shadow, and you came up surviving and strong with more things that you've learned about life and people. And these are things that you will be passing on to others and teaching to others. With mentor here, you're definitely someone who has a lot of wisdom and is meant to pass it on. Very interesting character, my dear pile number two. Let's find out more about you. I told you, you have the Temperance card. I do see that you have gone through some cleansing, and obviously this cleansing and growth has affected your communication style greatly and your dealings and relationships with others in a very strong way. You have the Eight of Wands, and I see here this experience changed the fabric of who you are on the inside. And it's now starting to be very apparent on your outside. Wow, everything keeps falling. Yeah, it's like everything fell as a surprise at some point in your life. You have the King of Cups. Oh, have to be careful with this card. And guys, some of you keep asking me, why do I cover the cards? It's because of the new YouTube rules. I had my videos gotten striked several times and they weren't able to reach you. Not all the channels have had these strikes yet, but it is a new strong YouTube rule that is being applied to many channels now. Some of them feel their effect and others not yet, and it's going to be spreading throughout. And like I said, it's a shame, but YouTube is a platform that I love. I get to connect with you guys, and that I hold as a dear blessing. Okay, so you have the World card, and here we have the Hanged Man. Also, we see the two dogs of the moon as well as the scorpion of the... There's so much here. Okay, let's keep it there. You have the hermit and you have the chariotee being hit. Okay, yeah. That speaks of the pause you've had in life when you were moving strong. It looks like with the chariot being hit here, that you were a person who was very open to reach others with the chariot. You know, you were moving, you were talking to others, you enjoyed creating connections. But once you got hurt this deeply, this chapter of your life seems ended, leaving you alone. And there was a long pause here with the Hanged Man in the World card. After that abrupt end, I think you went underworld, like there was a pause. You weren't seen anywhere. You kept to yourself greatly during that time. Look at the Four of Pentacles here. Like you chose you kept yourself. Have a strong idea that you pushed everyone out. It's like, even if I'm gonna stay all by myself alone and it's gonna feel like I'm in a lot of pain and suffering, I'm still gonna do that. You have the Two of Pentacles. You did find your balance. And you have the Eight of Swords. So I see, now that you've found your balance, there are amazing parts about your character, how you're seen and how you communicate with others. But there is a strong area here that also needs healing, that is keeping you tight. You're almost unable to move, to do things with relationships and to move along your life. The Chariot has been hit. Is it your confidence in others? I don't know. We'll find out together. Is it your confidence in yourself? I don't know yet. But all in all, you're healing and you are finding your balance. So let's take a close look at how you are seen and how your communication skills affects you with other people. So one thing I want to say, is this the Star card dressed as a chariot holding the star wand? In all cases, forget about what I said. The star, the wand that the star holds is broken here, which gives me an understanding that this situation, whatever it was, truly broke your hopes when it comes to people. Something broke with whatever happened here. It was obviously so powerful that you decided to suffer alone rather than connect with anyone. And like I said, there was a long pause. So now I see you cleansing and coming out of it. How are you viewed? With the Six of Pentacles, to everyone around you, with no fail, you are regarded as someone who is very generous, but also someone who is far more fortunate than others. Fortunate in many areas of your life. There seems to be a gap between, and I'm not saying that for any egoistical reasons, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and how you're viewed by others. Maybe you don't see it like that, but others certainly see it this way. A lot of people, by the way, look up to you. They respect your generosity. You're fair. You give to others without fear. You don't fear scarcity. You don't fear others taking over. You're just not afraid. Obviously, you're someone who loves to share the blessings that they have. But with the King of Cups dressed as royalty, as well as the Six of Pentacles, you are certainly seen by others, if not everyone, as someone who is a very fortunate person, born fortunate. Maybe you're fortunate with your mind, you're fortunate with your wealth, you're fortunate with your skills, you're fortunate with who you are as a person. yeah, you're definitely viewed as very fortunate. You are also viewed as someone who is very wise. And as if your wisdom in the past wasn't enough, now that you have gone through this, what seems to me like the dark night of the soul, it's like going through hell and coming out even stronger, you are seen even more wiser than before. Here it seems to me that you've risen up strong, and I see that people are surprised to see how you came out of such an experience balanced and cleansed, healing, looking vibrant and healed this way. There is still some healing to do on the inside, maybe that no one can see but you yet. But you're getting there, and you are definitely finding your balance. These situations with these people have left a great mark in your heart. These marks no longer prevent you from living your life. You've gotten stronger, but they are preventing you with something. I would say, taking a look at your cards, these things happened because, if you ask me, although you were hurt, I see here, because it's all black and we're taking a look at the shadow with Hille, so this tells me that this was actually there all along. Something in your communication was prohibiting you from doing something. And these people, although it looked very painful on the outside, it was meant to push you to see something within you that you could have been putting on the side before. And that part of you you're still healing, but you're aware of it now. So what could that be? Because despite all of these restrictions, there's light coming out of your eyes. You have seen that shadow finally. Again, what is it though? Well, this card was right here. And this is the Four of Pentacles. You held off. Maybe you were holding too afraid of something. Because look at that character. They're holding their coins even though they're about to jump into the fire. And there's time that's pressuring them. What could this mean? They have one foot revealed and the one foot wearing a pair of shoes. One shoe. Gives me the idea of being unsure. There is a certain experience when it comes to your connections with others that perhaps puts you in anxiety and you hold yourself off. Maybe in the past. No. Maybe you made connections in the past, but a part of you was reserved. Maybe something made you feel awkward in the past. Maybe you were afraid of doing something in the past with regards to your communication. Examples, and when I give you guys examples, do know that I'm trying as much as possible to show you the energy. So please take it how it resonates, and maybe the examples themselves don't work with you, but it's the energy that I'm trying to translate. Like, for example, how some people are great at having one-on-one conversation, but when it comes to talking to a lot of people, they are afraid. Or it's the other way around. Some people are great at talking to a large number of people, but when it's one-on-one, they're not really able to share of themselves that much. Another example of that energy of, you know, being connecting but being afraid of something could be some people can talk to certain type of people but are very afraid of a different type of people. Like some people are great with friends, but when they have a romantic interest, they act differently, or the other way around. And that's what I'm seeing here. There are types of people or a type of situation when it comes to communications. You know, this could be going on stage as well. It's one of the things that can bring anxiety. There's something that used to make you feel afraid, and it used to hold you off greatly, and hold your potential with networking and connecting with others, and maybe finding the right type of community for you. And that is what you're being called to heal at the moment. Although everything is coming into balance, you see, look at that, the Two of Pentacles and the King of Cups. King of Cups is a balanced energy. So you've grown a lot, my dear pile number 2. You found you're balanced. Who you are from the inside has changed. Yet, when it comes to this energy, you're still afraid of stepping into it. And you'd rather maybe be alone or not get the benefits from it, but not step into it. Your advice, believe it or not, is to actually step into it. Because here's the thing. I know you might not like to hear this, but I'm going to tell you what I see. There's a shadow of hands here. Shadow reminds me of the shadow again. So you are going to very soon pass this stage. Because you have taken the step to show yourself that you're no longer afraid and to do what is necessary, whether you feel like it or not, because it seems like you have grown a lot of muscle and you're capable of handling it. Or you may start facing situations where you again start to go through a long unnecessary journey until you decide to finally step into it, to grow into who you're meant to grow. And so with all of this amazing growth that you should be super proud of, there's one last step that you are guided to take. And you see that? Time is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And there is this idea, if you don't do it by your own, then you may be, without noticing, choosing to go through a whole journey to face this shadow, when this shadow could be faced by jumping into it and doing it anyways. See, it seems to me like you're more than equipped to actually do it. You've grown, you've healed, you've found your balance, and it's a matter of proving it to your mind now. Once you step into it, you will realize that your connections with others are getting very strong and they're benefiting you in your life. You will find the people around you, or rather the people around you will find you to be someone who they can learn from, someone who's wise. You will always have people around you that are learning from you because you have so much to give. And perhaps for this reason, you are being guided to go, 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 because you're needed in an area, my dear pile number 1. Maybe you've gotten used to being alone so much that it has become a burden on you to step outside again. Maybe that's it. But this time, as you step outside, one part of your job is done and the other part you need to take that step towards it. Once you step into it, you realize that you won't be getting the same experiences that you've perhaps gotten in the past, because you have grown, you have found balance, and you will be presenting yourself in a far different way than you used to. You've gone through a lot of inner realization, especially with the Hanged Man. That part is over. And now it's time, with the moon figures here, to step into the unknown. Even if you've had experiences of being hit before, this time is going to be far different. You're going to be meeting balanced and interesting people, and you will have a great effect on the people around you. You'll find people will find you an inspiration. Every time I say you will find, I feel like they are the ones that will be finding you. So it's almost like you have to step out thinking that it's a benefit for you. And of course it is, because you're now healing that long-lived shadow. But once you do, you'll find that it was actually these people looking for you all along, and not just you, my dear pile number 2. These new people are going to be very happy to have found you, and you will be building close connections that are far different than the ones you've had in the past. Ones that really look up to you, believe in you, and have a lot of respect for you. With the King of Cups, you'll be regarded as a highly respectable person, someone who's poised, but also very loving. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see in your reading. You have now come out and shown who you really are, the way you're meant to present yourself to the world. My dear pile number 2, you must be very proud of yourself, and there's much more to come. I would totally heed the call. One step, sometimes it feels scary, but you'll be surprised at what kind of benefit it's going to be giving you. My dear pile number 2, this was your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away, all while enjoying the journey. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook. And while you're there, you might also want to check out the Productivity e-cookbook. This book has 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. I've partnered with a nutritionist to bring out this ebook for you. There's a vegan version, by the way. If you're not vegan, you can make use of both ebooks. And if you're interested in checking it out as well, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. And my dear pile number 2, thank you so much for tuning in. All the best of luck with what's to come for you. Your best days in terms of connections are yet to come. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful blue goldstone in the shape of a heart, as well as the 6 of Swords. Let's see how this fits into your reading today. And we're taking a look at how your communication style affects your relationship with others, as well as your life. So we'll be starting off with your oracle cards first, as usual. Right. So you have Thurisaz, okay. The rune Thurisaz. Let's adjust that here. And that's the gatekeeper. Gateway, sorry, gateway, not gatekeeper, my apologies. It's the rune of a gateway. You also have Queen. Ooh. So the light attributes are radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. Such a sweet pile. You also have with the shadow attributes, becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. Okay. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards. Ooh. So you have the Lotus with the past, transcendence and evolution. Okay. And you have the Mentor. You must have been drawn to pile number 2. They had specifically the Mentor as well. How interesting. Okay, let's keep that there. Of course, this gives me the idea with the Mentor and the Lotus is that you're seen as a very evolved spiritual person. The Lotus and the Mentor here. Okay, let's now take, or was it 1? Let's take a look at your cards. So, ooh. Wow, I love the sass here. You have the Queen of Pentacles. What's up? Okay, so you have the Queen of Pentacles, another Queen. You definitely have this regal air to you. Air of authority as well. Like you are seen as someone who knows their self-worth. Exactly. You also have the Chariot, the Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands. Interesting, Page of Wands. You have, talk about communication with others. This is the 3 of Swords card, but it's in the scene of the 3 of Pentacles. It's a scene of collaboration, but it looks to me like no one's there. And perhaps that's the sad part? Let's find out. You have the King of Swords, but you have the Hierophant in place of the King of Swords. You have a lot of cards that are very similar to pile number 1. So if you were drawn to both, I wouldn't be surprised. You have the Hierophant again, 2 Hierophants. Well, pile number 3. You're definitely seen and regarded as a highly spiritual person, but one that is respected as well. There's a lot of respect in your energy, especially with the Hierophant. You're definitely someone who people see as, you know how you think, oh, I can't say that to this person. I should be acting in a more respectful way when I'm dealing with this person. Yeah, you have that type of air to you. And finally, you have the 5 of Cups. Okay. When it comes to your communication with others, it looks like to me that you're generally a person who's seen to stand by those who are less fortunate or weak. You have that heart, my dear pile number 3. A regal person who's strong, knows their self-worth, but at the same time, you have a big heart. And you tend to stand by those that other people forget. And because you do, or maybe not because, but you've had the opposite experience. Here with the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords in the scene of the 3 of Pentacles, the people are missing. And you can see this person heartbroken. The very people who were supposed to be there weren't. And so this was a great lesson in your communication journey with others, because the 5 of Cups shows energy of great disappointment at some point in your life. It was very cold. you found yourself alone at some point, and people have disappointed you greatly. But with the Queen of Pentacles, people have seen that you have clearly started a solid new beginning. In fact, that period of your life could have been like walking on thin ice. Maybe everyone thought that you are in a dangerous place or something, but you came out of it like a warrior. And look at you now with this Queen of Pentacles. You're walking confidently. You don't need anyone. You're independent with the Queen of Pentacles. And your regal energy is now stronger than ever. With the eyeglasses here, you don't see anyone and you don't need anyone. And looks like with the two Hierophants here, in terms of this situation, this was a very strong learning lesson in your life. There is a similar energy here to another pile, this disappointment and being left alone. For those who you are, however, still in touch with, like I said, you are seen as someone who is regal, classy, someone who holds themselves in high regards, and look at that, a highly spiritual person. Unbelievable how this is coming up. The two Hierophants and the Mentor and the Lotus Flower. And the lotus flower shows even more growth. You know, you must be drawn to pile number one. If you're drawn to it, I highly recommend it. If you came from pile number one, you're probably at this point, like, you can't believe it either. Okay, so you've crossed the other side, it seems, and you've crossed, you've left off maybe those who weren't there for you, and you're fine, my dear pile number three. Now, when it comes to your communication with others, people see you as very wise, but you seem to me like people see you as some sort of gateway. Whether they communicate that to you or not, you are seen as someone, whoa, this is a strong, independent person. If I get to know them, perhaps they'll help me open up doors to something, or maybe they'll help me with their wisdom. Yeah, people see you as an opportunity, but not in a bad way. They constantly see you as an opportunity, as someone who they would love to connect with, because you come with many benefits. Most people would see these benefits as a blessing, but others may see this as an opportunity. In all cases, you go solo, you're strong, it seems like you know what you're doing in your life, and it seems to me like you don't really need anyone at the moment. Although your heart and your wish to help others is just there, and it will continue to be there. That's who you are as a person. That's why this is the main card. When it comes to people communicating with you, you seem to have a sharp mind, and challenging you challenging others, or the people you're talking to at the moment in your life, is not easy. People feel like you're so smart and sharp that debating with you would be very risky. You seem to know what you're talking about. You seem to come from a place of wisdom and strength and truth. And now you're giving the energy with the Giant as a gatekeeper here. The energy of, should you find these people to be treating you respectfully as you deserve, you let them pass. those that challenge you when it comes to disrespect, I don't want to say you become arrogant, controlling, and demanding, but you give off the energy of sass one way or the other. That's what people sense from you when you feel like they've dared to disrespect you one way or the other. But again, just like pile number 1, if you go back, you won't believe, even down to the tear. Sorry. There we go. It looks like this figure is crying. Do you see that tear? And so this shows me that there is still some pain that you are holding on to. Maybe you are still going through it. You're still healing it, but you're moving forward, my dear pile number 3. This pain, one way or the other, is affecting you with communication, especially with the 5 of Cups. The disappointment in your heart maybe is making you tiptoe around trusting others or letting others into your heart again. Great disappointment here. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I think this is it. What you're guided to do is focus on that type of healing, the disappointment. Because the disappointment that you may be holding on to or believing that would happen to you, I feel like is isolating you. How? We learn from the very card of the 5 of Cups, where 3 cards are dropped and there's always 2 cards at the back, 2 cups at the back that you're not seeing. A lot of times in our lives, we cry over spilt milk. We cry over the people who disappointed us or the opportunities that we've lost, not knowing, as the energy of the 5 of Cups shows in tarot, that there's always something that we're not seeing that we're meant to discover. So this would tell me, when it comes to people, my dear pile number 3, yes, you may have gone through some great disappointment here, but your advice with regards to healing that pain is to transcend it, to move past it, just like you have with everything else in your life. And you will see that sometimes there are bad experiences, but also there are other times when there are great experiences. And you may have gone through some tricky times, but you will also, just like the 2 Hierophants here, one experience that teaches you, and another experience that you came here to experience and enjoy. You know, one for you and one for the journey. And in all cases, do know that once you heal this idea, and it is an idea with the Hierophant here, because a lot of times it's an idea that one could be holding stubbornly to. So letting go of this idea will open a gateway to traveling. It could be traveling, you could be traveling, but I mean to like transcending the communication or the relationships that you have in your life at the moment, or used to have, or lack thereof, into a new type of environment and enjoyment with others, my dear pile number 3. In fact, 2 Hierophants show you finished one spiritual journey when it comes to your relationships with others, and you're now moving into a new one. This is a new one that you're going to be exploring, but it's also going to be one that is more open. You see the Hierophant here, naked, showing that they're in this new journey when it comes to connections with others. It's going to be more open, more honest, more truthful. And so with that type of energy, there really won't be the type of disappointment that you have experienced in the past. And perhaps holding on to that grudge or holding on to these emotions that hurt you, or at least the belief that, or the lack of belief in others, may be the last thing that you are asked to clear your mind of, see it the right way, to move past it and move into the next chapter of your life when it comes to your connections with others. And my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly wish you the best of luck with this new chapter. May you always have a wonderful and blessed life. This was your reading, and if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away as soon as you finish the book, and enjoy the journey along the way. You'll find that this book truly holds true to this promise. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And while you're there, you might want to check out the Productivity e-cookbook. This is a book that I've partnered with a nutritionist that I really love to bring out to you 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. If you're vegan, there's a vegan version. If not, you can make use of both ebooks. This way you have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from that are cooked right away. And if you're interested in checking it out as well, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. And my dear pile number 3, thank you so much for tuning in. I love your reading. I love the fact that you're going to be experiencing a totally different life. One for the journey and one for you, my dear pile number 3. And I'll catch you in the next reading.